In the beginning of my jewelry business, I met Michael. Most of my time, this relationship continued as a business acquaintance. Our did not. Our relationship with Michael started as a business and ended as a friendship. Our friendship was based on life, how to live, and how to be better person. Like you hear, nobody talks here about business. I mean, I'm listening, I'm listening, people saying, nobody talk about business. Everybody talking about the life. Everybody talking about the friendship. Everybody talking about what kind of person he was, Like any other friendship, we had our arguments and disarguments. But these arguments always brought us closer, because when you fight, you find, you find the truth. He was very cultured and educated, and I'm sure everybody he had in contact with him learned something about the life and enrich themselves. I feel like now when I'm saying this, I'm repeating whatever people said, before me, I mean, it's the same over and over, He was a person everybody want to know. To be with his company was delightful. And you feel, I don't know, I cannot find the words in English, You feel very, when you are in his company, you feel very close. He makes you warm. He makes you relax. Doesn't matter how tight you are, and you have fun, I don't know how to express myself. After being in his presence, you would live thinking about what you discuss. You talk with him, you discuss, and then after that, you think what you talk about, what was, how was going on, I mean, he was very deep. He's not a philosophical, but he was very, very human. And when Susan says, everybody was thinking, how we live together, three people under one roof, I was thinking the same way, And then many times I say to my wife and to my son, and when we talk about that, I say, you have to have a big heart. You have to have a heart big to understand. I don't know how to explain. I don't know what. A lot of people come into this world and departure without leaving their mark. Michael left a big track behind him. He left a big track. I mean, everybody will talk about Michael. I mean, they know what I'm talking about, I mean, he's dead. Many people, they left, oh, he died, he passed away, I mean, but about Michael, when you say Michael, like you mentioned it, Michael, you make point, to everybody come, the nurse, when walk in the room, they know it's a Michael. I mean, he is, we cannot talk about Michael Teller as he left because he always will be with us. He didn't left us, he always with us, I mean, we're talking, and I'm sure tomorrow we're going to talk again. We mention it, and he will be always over there. I mean, I don't know. We have a very good friendship. Like I said in the beginning, nothing based in the business. And whatever, I can say only it's an honor to know him. For me, I'm talking for me, and I'm talking for my name and for my family, because I don't know.
I forgot to mention, too, that one of the nurses who we all fell in love with and who took such good care of Michael, she's here today. Would you be willing to say a few words? Her name is Lisa Monagle, and she was one of the kindest, most compassionate, wonderful people I've ever met, and she was there with us until the end. And it's a pleasure to have you here today as a guest.
I'm so grateful to have been invited, and I don't have any remarks prepared, but I really appreciate you inviting me to share from my heart. I only knew Michael for 3 days, and Susan said there's no secrets anymore about his health condition. Something I didn't tell you is that my son's name is John Michael. And I had just lost a very dear friend who was an internationally known expert on nutrition to colon cancer. And so when I met Michael, I was just immediately touched. His brilliant blue eyes. I met him in intensive care unit. And he was flanked by Susan and Maggie. And the energy was of 2 lionesses who were going to do everything they could to provide an experience for him that he wanted. So he had just been extubated. He couldn't talk very well, but he let himself be very clearly understood, and then everything he wanted was carried through. Everything he wanted. And we usually do our work in homes. How a hospital death could be so beautiful. And someone was always there, day and night. And I got to have a sense of who Mike was. I didn't know any of this, but just through the people surrounding him, I got to meet William. Don't know where you are, William. It was something I'll never forget, meeting you, William, your grace and strength, and the relationship between you and Mike, seeing those pictures in the back. And Susan never let the chant stop. He had a chant, and it was on a tape recorder, so it was like every whatever. She would get up in the middle of the night. As soon as it stopped, she turned it over. Very organized, very organized.